Hello, first grade. Mr. Mush here. This week we're talking about space. All right. So we are talking about how things are perceived when we look at them. So we are literally going to make a picture of space using space. And you can see how my sun, we are closest to the sun in our drawing because it's the biggest thing. Then the next planet, Mercury, is biggest, and then Venus, and then Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, right there, that little purple dot. Okay? But the planets are getting smaller and smaller as they go back. It's showing space. Just like this astronaut is really big. It's bigger than the Earth, and we know the astronaut is not bigger than the planet Earth, but it's just showing space. So I'm going to show you how to get started with this project. All right? So you want to make sure your paper is hamburger style, like this, side to side. And I wrote my full name, Mr. Mushlit, but you can call me Mr. Mush. But anyway, so this is how you're going to start your project. We're going to draw the sun in the corner like this. And I'm going to draw little arrows or triangles for sunbeams. You can do sunbeams like this too. I think that looks nice. All right, and then we're going to draw the planets. So we're going to draw all the planets, and it's really simple. So Mercury is the first planet, and that's going to be our biggest circle, and I'm going to put little craters. And Mercury is closest to the sun, and it's the hottest planet, all right, in our solar system because it's closest to the sun. Our next planet is Venus. Now, if you look, I'm drawing slightly smaller circles. And I'm going to give it heart-shaped craters because they say Venus is the planet of love. So you can do that if you want. If not, that's fine. Now the third planet I'm going to draw, I'm getting a slightly smaller, is the planet Earth. So I'm going to draw just the land, of our planet, like that. It doesn't have to be exact. And if you want to add the moon, you can draw the moon like that. Okay? So that's the planet we live on. And then there's Mars. And it's a little bit smaller than Earth. It has 2 ice caps and it's red. Then Jupiter, which is really our biggest planet, has a little red dot. Saturn, which has a ring. And the way you do the ring is like you're kind of drawing the letter C. So you draw the circle and you go out and then curve it around like that. Okay, and then you have Uranus, and then it's like Saturn, except it has a ring that goes like that, and then Neptune, and then Pluto. And see how the planets they get smaller as we go. Now we need to draw things that you see in space, and that you can create more space with. So I could do a flying comet. Like that. I could do the astronaut. I'm going to draw a circle for his head, his face, oval for his body, his legs, his hands, his little airbag on his back. And then he's going to be attached to the rocket, which is further back. And it's creating space. So I'm going to draw an oval for the rocket. Little like rectangle for the engine, and there's my rocket. Okay, and you can add a bunch of other things too in your picture, like most importantly stars. So you could do really tiny stars like that, little X with a line through it. You could do bigger stars to show that they're closer to us, and medium-sized star, as well as if you love Star Wars, you could draw some Star Wars ships. Like I'm going to draw a TIE fighter. Okay, maybe the Millennium Falcon is flying in the background. Zooming by. Okay? And then, after you draw everything, you just need to color it in. Okay? So, I'm just going to color in Mercury, yellow, and orange because it's really hot. I'm going to make Venus pink with little red hearts. Now, like, you could look up pictures of the planets if you want to look up what they really look like. Or you can take creative liberty, like I'm doing. I'm going to do the Earth and the moon right there. And yeah, there we go. I'm going to do Mars. Mars is red. Okay, I'm going to do Jupiter, which I'm going to do orange with the big red dot. And I'm going to do yellowish orange for Saturn. I'm going to do like a purplish color for Uranus. I'm going to do blue for Neptune. And I'm going to do purple for Pluto. Okay? And I'll make sure I color in my sun. How could I forget that? Okay. Now, make sure you color in everything else, like your spaceman. If you draw a spaceman, make sure you do that. All right. But to color in your space sky, I want you to use a crown without a wrapper, and you're going to blend. And you're going to use pretty much blues, purples, and maybe a little bit of black. Like I'm going to put a little bit of black right there, like that. I'm going to blend it in with purple. I'm going to take my blue, blend that in as well. Make sure you color around everything. I'll get my purple again, like that. So make sure you use a crown without a wrapper. And then I can finish coloring up my picture by coloring in my stars, coloring in my comet, my spaceman, and things like that, and all my other things like that. Okay? And when you're finished, it could look something like this. Okay? Except for this, I painted. Traditionally, we paint the background using blacks, purples, and blues. If you have watercolors at home, you can use them and paint your sky. But if you don't, this works just fine. Okay? So make sure you color in everything, like your spaceman, your rocket, and just like that. And just make sure everything gets shaded in. So that it looks good. Okay, there shouldn't be anything not colored in. Okay, I'll give them a yellow visor. Okay, so I need to finish my rocket, my Millennium Falcon, and my TIE Fighter. But everything is colored in. See that? So make sure you do that. And like I said, if you have watercolors at home, paint the background with your watercolors. But use crowns without wrappers to color in this in space. All right, so this is our space lesson. I hope you enjoyed first grade. And until next time, take care.